Gerald Cavagnaro. Haverhill, Massachusetts. Haverhill. September 2nd, 1928.
So that makes you what, like
85 years old.
85.
Married.
To who?
Lillian, Lilianne.
And how long you been married?
50 years this year.
50 years. Wow. Okay, and when did you get married? What year, you think?
1964.
Okay, any children?
2 sons.
Their names?
Lawrence and Michael.
What are the occupations you had before you went into the Army? Or
I was a printer.
a what?
A printer.
Printer. You run a linotype machine or
No, flow work. Makeup.
makeup?
I took the type from the machines and made them up into pages or whatever.
Oh. So you actually composed
Yeah.
the type on a composition stick? Or composing stick?
That too. I worked in a lot of different places. Little job shops and newspapers.
Oh.
I worked for the communist newspaper in Washington, D.C.
Okay.
The Washington Post.
Ah! You're funny.
But I didn't write that crap. I just printed it.
Oh, that's funny. Okay. So, did they make the matrix and everything for the printing machines? Did you do that, or did you?
No, I just took the type and the advertisements and the photographs and built it into a page.
Okay. So the headlines I was reading years ago, you did them.
Yep.
Yep. Okay. Did you get drafted, or were you enlisted?
I enlisted.
Enlisted.
RA,
Enlisted into what part of the service?
the Army.
Army. Okay. When did you do that? What day? About what year?
October 5th, 1946.
Wow. Okay. So this is right around World War II, right?
This is after.
After World War II.
Yeah. just
Okay.
after.
All right. And you went in as a private or something, or
Yeah, private.
private? Did you get any promotions?
Yeah, eventually I got staff sergeant.
Oh, wow.
That was through an act of Congress.
Okay. When was that? Later
I was
on?
in 53 when I got out.
Well, I was trying to get things done by Congress. How'd you do it? Okay. And your Korean service dates in the unit you were in?
I got the career on the 29th of August, 1950. And I was with the M Company,
M, like in Mary?
right? M Company, 3rd Battalion,
Right?
8th Cav Regiment,
8th Cavalry?
yeah,
Right?
regiment, 1st Cav Division,
First, was that Cab?
Cavalry Division.
Well, that's a lot of designations.
Well, that nails it down.
Yeah. Okay. And you when you got to Korea, where did you enter Korea?
At Busan,
Busan. On August 29th, 1950.
right.
Okay. What do you remember about your first impressions of the when you landed? What was your first
It
impression?
was just unbelievable.
What do you mean?
I don't know how to explain it. The place was a shambles. It was just unbelievable.
Buildings were destroyed, or
No, it was just old and smelly. You could smell all the. They used the human excrement for the fields. And that. It was so bad. In times I saw people walking the street with leprosy and every disease known to man was prevalent in Korea between the North and the South. The South had all the tropical diseases, and the North had all the cold climate diseases.
what were your duties in the military?
I was number one man on a 75 millimeter recoilless rifle.
Explain to me what that looks like.
Pardon?
Explain to me what a 75 millimeter rifle looks like.
It's just a tube,
Okay.
and it's mounted on a machine gun tripod.
Those are some
Four-
pretty
four
hefty
men
bullets.
Pardon?
They're pretty big bullets.
Like that.
Wow.
So it's a cannon, if you will.
75 millimeters is pretty wide. I mean, it's like,
Yeah, it's about like that.
wow. It's like a little missile.
Well, it's a cannon.
Wow.
4 men can carry that thing up to the highest mountain there is.
Wow.
You couldn't bring artillery up to places where we went.
Okay. So 2 men had to carry it?
4 men.
4 men.
I believe it was 4 men. That's a long time ago.
Okay. All right. Wow. And who carried the ammo?
We had a crew, you know.
The crew had to carry the ammo?
Yeah.
Like they're in boxes or something, or?
Yeah, in cases, yeah.
So you were the number 1 man. You're the one that pulled the triggers?
Exactly.
Busan to Daejeon. How many men went with you? How many men in your company or whatever?
Well, there must have been 170 men in the company.
So 170 men and you.
Yeah.
Okay. Now you're traveling north,
Yeah.
and how long did it take you to get to Daejeon? Is it Daejeon?
Oh, well. We fought at the Pusan Box till the September the 17th or 18th.
You mean the Pusan perimeter?
Pusan Perimeter.
Until when?
Till about the 18th or 19th of September. And then we went to Daejeon. We broke loose and went to Daejeon.
So you broke through the lines.
Yeah,
You-
the
the
whole
end-
thing collapsed.
Their enemy.
MacArthur landed at Incheon. And the whole thing collapsed. We just went right through.
So when he broke through, they all skedaddled north.
Yeah, well, a lot of them didn't make it.
Oh,
They picked up thousands and thousands of prisoners.
prisoners. So you captured a lot of North Korean and Chinese prisoners.
Not Chinese, all
Just
Koreans.
North
at
Korean.
that point.
So you got up to Daejeon.
And then Suwon would be the next major place I recall. In Seoul.
Then to Seoul.
At Seoul.
And all the time you're fighting?
No, really. We're
Just marching?
Moving. Well, we're in vehicles.
Marching in vehicles. Okay, so you get to Seoul.
Get to Seoul and we that's a long time ago.
Yeah, take your time.
Went up to the parallel.
Okay, you got the Seoul, and then you went north of Seoul.
North of Seoul to the 38th parallel.
Did you see signs? Now you're entering the north
Yeah.
parallel. They had
Yeah.
signs all over the place.
Everybody had them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you went past that, and you went north of the parallel.
Yeah. Went into Suwon. No, I'm sorry, Sarawon.
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 Okay, so you're sitting in Sarawon now,
Yeah.
and is anything going on?
Oh yeah. The British, a British tank outfit was leading us into Suwon and Sarawon, and they get in there, and the North Koreans thought they were Russian tanks. So the British tank commander told them to lock up all the tanks.
What does that mean?
Well, they pulled all the hatches closed and locked.
Okay.
And all these North Koreans came out of the buildings, and they were all over the tanks. And then he told them to open up, and they killed hundreds.
Why did the North Koreans go on the tanks? They thought they were friendly?
They thought they were Russian tanks. Or Chinese. No, not Chinese. I think they...
North Koreans?
I don't really know what they thought, but they thought
And the enemy
they were
thought
friendly tanks.
the tanks began firing. They began firing the machine guns
Yeah.
and the cannons.
No, just machine guns. It was too close. They were right in the middle of the town.
Wow!
It wouldn't have been effective. The machine guns.
And they killed hundreds of North Koreans.
Yeah.
The tanks kept moving. A lot of tanks kept moving.
We didn't see that. We saw what was left of the town. They had pushed on.
Hmm.
We were in the further back in the column.
So when you got up there, you saw all these
It was
dead
just-
bodies.
And the tanks had run over all of them, most of them.
Whoa!
So it was just like Hamburg.
So the tanks went forward, and you followed with your.
Yeah, we went into a town. From there, we went to a place called Chin Nam Po.
Chin?
Chin Nam Po. That's I'm sorry, I can't spell it.
No, it's okay. I'll get it.
And that's a port city for Pyongyang, the North Korean capital. And we were 2 or 3 days in Pyongyang. They had reports of some fighting north, 20 or 30 miles north of Pyongyang. Regiment was sent up to a town called Unsan, maybe 2,000 men, on November 1st.
1950, right?
Yeah,
Right.
the Chinese hit us.
They attacked.
Yeah.
They were right on top of you, or what?
Yeah, right on top of us. They cut us off from. We were
Surrounded. There was.
surrounded, yeah. And we fought there till
That happened on the 1st of November.
that was the 1st of November. The 3rd of November, what was left of us broke out.
Remaining, what they do? Retreat.
Yeah, we were trying to get out of there. And we left in a southeasterly direction. To near a town called Ipsok.
Okay.
I-P-S-O-K.
Ipsong.
Ipsok. What was left of us was captured.
And you were captured in Ipsok.
Yeah, in and around it, Ipsok.
A lot of men?
It must have been maybe 100, 150.
100, 150 men?
Yeah.
And what did they do? They just surrounded you and
Yeah.
tell you to drop your guns and
Yeah,
everything?
we had no ammo left. We had nothing.
Okay.
I think I had 13 rounds of ammunition left for the carbine. And that was it. As far as
Okay. And how did they take you somewhere after you were captured?
yeah, we started marching north.
Now this is cold weather. And there's
Well, yeah, it really started right about then.
and they kept marching for a few days at night or during the day?
Only at night. Nobody moved in the daytime. If you moved outside in the daytime, somebody would shoot you.
Oh.
They were
Or the jets would come in, right? The
Yeah.
military jets?
planes. No fires, no movement whatsoever.
So it's pretty desolate during the day.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we marched all night
To where?
north to eventually to a place called Death Valley. That's what we named it.
It was like a barren land or something, or?
It was a valley with a lot of little houses, little shacks. And they put us up there. We stayed there for a few days.
Okay, so you stayed there a few days,
Yeah.
and then at night, one night you started moving again?
Pardon?
Did you start moving again one night?
Yeah. We moved to a place called Pyeongtaong. Pyockktong.
Okay. And what was in
Maybe.
Paktan?
They put us in shacks. And we got bombed.
Wow. By American or allies or
American planes.
all the
They
shacks
dropped
got?
incendiary bombs on these shacks. So they moved us back.
A lot of guys died in the shacks?
No. They were just little pellets, I guess. They
Okay.
hit these clay roofs, and we got the hell out of them, out of the buildings.
Okay, so you evacuated the buildings
Yeah,
and just ran for cover somewhere?
yeah. So then they took us back to Death Valley.
So after the bombing, you got out and then everybody came back
Yeah,
in the same day? That same day or?
okay. Yeah, it must have been, yeah. And then eventually, sometime in early January, they brought us back to Pyeongtaong.
And then a few days later they brought you back to that?
To Pyeongtaong, yeah. We all had to lay on one side.
You had to sleep like spoons?
It was half of us on one side of the room and half on the other side.
Oh.
And all facing the same direction. In the middle of the night, somebody would haul a turn, and everybody in the room would roll over.
Non-Americans, Americans, foreigners, Turkish?
No, all American.
All American. What are the living conditions like?
Tough.
Did you get a little bit of food, a lot of food?
A little bit of food.
What'd you eat?
Millet, cracked corn, a few soybeans. And that was about it.
Did they boil them for you? Did they boil
Yeah,
them?
but if the planes if the food wasn't cooked and the planes came, they'd pull the fires.
Oh,
So the stuff was half cooked sometimes.
so they put the fire out to prevent the smoke.
That's right.
What'd you do during the day? Stayed in the huts or
The killing lice.
killing lice?
That was a big occupation.
Where did the lice come from? Do you know?
Oh, the whole country was filthy. Everywhere was full of lice.
So you had to, would you squeeze them or something, or just brush them
Pop
off?
them between their nails.
How big are they?
Little tiny things. They bite the hell out
In
of
your hair or everywhere?
everywhere.
On your
All over
clothes
body.
and
Yeah. They get in the seams of your clothes. Like there,
yeah.
be full of them. Eventually, they had us attend these communist indoctrination sessions.
So they tried to brainwash you?
Yeah,
How long they'd last? A few hours or
yeah, sometimes 3 or 4 hours.
somebody was at a microphone or something or a loudspeaker or
No, there were smaller groups, you know. Eventually, there was about maybe 6,000 people in that camp.
wow.
Eventually, and then they brought Turks in English. And I think there was one French guy from that.
Turks, French, the English guys get captured too.
English, yeah, they caught hell.
Okay,
But at different periods in different areas.
okay.
The
The
people
Turks
from
stayed
which-
to themselves pretty much.
More or less, yeah, yeah,
So they each congregated in certain areas
yeah,
because of the language, probably, right?
yeah,
During the day, you talk to your friends, right, in the huts.
yeah.
And what'd you guys talk about?
Normal things.
Anything that came up, right?
Yeah.
Did you get moved to any other
Yeah,
camps?
from there, and sometime in the summer, I can't remember. Maybe early August.
And this is Camp 5?
Yeah. Early August, I was moved to Camp 3.
In August. How'd they decide who got moved?
I guess the people they thought were giving them a hard time. Well, I just told them they're full of crap.
Uh-huh.
It didn't make any sense to me, you know. They were telling us how great it was in China and Russia. And here we're living like animals. Well, we treat our animals better here than they were treating us over there.
All right, so now you get to Camp 3,
Yeah.
and what
So,
happens there?
I was there for about a year.
Through the winter until the next August, pretty much, right? The next summer.
Yeah, yeah.
What'd you do at Camp 3?
Oh, much the same. A lot of wood details. And they put us to work building. We weren't building. We were hauling supplies for new shacks that they were going to bring new prisoners into.
You were going to build new shacks?
Yeah, it was more labor than it was propaganda. We were hauling stone and logs and stuff like that, building materials. Besides wood details,
Wood means going to get scraps for the fire or something, or
yeah,
branches?
we had to bring in so much wood every day. They had a little scale that weighed it, and if you didn't make the quota, you had to go on Sunday.
We moved again from Camp 5 to 3 to...
to 2. It was a branch of the officers camp. There was about 160 of us again moved.
Wow. So you were an officer or just
No, all enlisted personnel.
right. So you went to Camp 2.
Right.
And when was that about? That was in August?
More or less, yeah.
Did you get moved again from
Yeah.
Camp 2?
Yeah.
Where'd you go then?
Camp 1.
You did them all.
No, I missed 4.
Oh. And what'd you do at Camp 1?
That was almost, let me see something. That must have been in 1953, of course. And I was only there for 3 or 4 weeks. I couldn't find a place that I liked. That's why I kept moving.
You must have been a troublemaker. They wanted to get rid of you.
I don't know. I
So
hope so.
so you were 3 or 4 weeks in Camp 1.
And then I went back to 5, where I started. Released. I'm trucked to a railhead, and then by train. Kaesong.
They took you to Tayson.
Yeah.
How you spell that?
Kaesong.
Okay. They took you to Kaesong.
Right.
All right. The train ended at Kaesong, or did it just stop there?
Yeah, I believe so.
Okay. And you got off the train.
Yeah.
Did they put you on trucks or just right
No,
there?
eventually, I ended up in an ambulance.
What happened then?
They brought us to the
They brought you to like.
line. That's where they held the peace conferences.
Okay.
It's hard to go back all that time.
Oh yeah. Well, that's why we're doing this. And did you see any North Koreans or Chinese being exchanged for you guys?
No,
No.
I saw none of that.
So you got to. And what did the officers begin to talk to you or something or anything? Anybody talk to you?
You mean the American officers?
Yes.
Well, they welcomed us.
Okay.
One thing that happened, when we got to that area, I got out of the ambulance and I saw all the United Nations flags. But I couldn't see an American flag.
Huh. All the UN flags but US.
Yeah. And I said something to somebody, and the colonel told a guy to go get a flag. First, we took showers, and they
Okay.
deloused us. They sprayed us with stuff, dusted us, I don't know exactly what.
Somebody said DDT.
Yeah, it was probably first one in 33 months.
Wow. What's RA mean? That's your serial number?
Regular Army.
What?
Regular Army.
Your serial number is 11162981?
961.
Wow. Fingerprints, your date of birth, your weight, the height. And you've held on to this all that time.
Oh, I got everything. Yeah, I got 2 drawers at home full of stuff you wouldn't believe.
Wow. If you could send us pictures of what you have, that would be nice, because we could put it on the website. To take you to the
I got
boat.
on a helicopter.
Okay. And did they take you to Incheon or to a boat, to a ship?
I can't remember where we went from there. But eventually I went to Tokyo,
Helicopter, you took a ship to, took a boat to,
the plane.
took a helicopter
Took
to
a
a,
helicopter to the hospital area.
then they said you're,
Then they started flying us across the Pacific.
oh,
We stopped in Midway and Guam.
Then flew on way home, right?
Yeah.
You stopped at Midway to probably get fuel, right?
Yeah. And then Hawaii. I spent some time in a hotel in Hawaii.
Stopped at Midway probably just to get fuel. You didn't stay there very long, did you?
No.
Hawaii must have been nice.
Oh, that was neat. Yeah. Yeah, I enjoyed that.
You stayed in Hawaii a couple of days?
No, I just think one day I think we was there, Hawaii. And we flew to California.
With all those changes, did anybody get a chance to, from family, to meet you at the airport?
In New York.
Oh yeah? Who met you?
Somebody, my brother and my one sister.
Got to New York, you got out of the hospital, and then what?
I went up to a hospital in Massachusetts.
Discharged when? 1954? So then you look for a job in Newberry.
No, I looked for a job in Newburyport.
Newburyport?
Newburyport.
Newburyport. What'd you do?
Printing.
Print. Oh, the printing. This is
to
what
work in a
started you in the
newspaper.
printing.
I went to work in a newspaper there.
What's the most memorable part of your Korean War experience? Was it the prison camps? Was it the battles? What do you always think about? Think about it.
It's hard to pick one.
Yeah. Well, if you got a couple of things,
Wow. Both things you mentioned.
the POW camps
Yeah, the camps.
and the battle.
Yeah.
If you had to say something to somebody that you wanted them to know for the future, because this video will be on forever, on posterity for the future kids and people that will go to the website and look at it. What do you want to tell them about your Korean War experience and why you did it, or would you do it again? What would you tell everybody?
I really don't know.
Why his decision to have a Korean War?
I thought.
Did you think you did the right thing, or?
Oh, definitely.
Okay. Would you advise other kids to join the military?
Yeah, if you're in a situation where you have no other choice. I was working for $16 a week for 40 hours work. I had a $5.50 room at the Y. And what money I spent for food and a couple of packs of cigarettes, I didn't have nothing. So that's why I joined the Army.
Okay.
Immediately you get all the food you want. You get a
Mhm.
place to sleep, you get insurance, you get clothing, you get everything. And no, I would suggest anybody in financial trouble should look into the possibilities to join in the service.
So you would suggest them join it for security, right? Okay. In economics.
Yeah, I think I grew up a lot in the Army.
Yeah.
Plus, in addition to that, all the travel you get.
Was he Chinese, Korean,
Japanese.
Japanese? So he's one of your best friends, huh?
Yeah.
Nick Nishimoto.
Yeah.
How'd you meet him?
Camp 5.
Camp 5. Interesting. So you kept in touch with him until he passed?
Yeah, we went to Hawaii. He lived in Hawaii.
I see.
He'd meet all the planes bringing bodies back from Korea. And anybody that he knew was coming, he'd meet us at the airport and take us anywhere we wanted to go on the island. I went back to Korea though in '89. I think it was '89. Unbelievable.
Big changes, huh?
Have you been to Korea?
Yeah, 3-4 times.
Oh, good.
It's like a city when I was there, like New York City.
When I was there, was in '50s. It was just unbelievable.
Yeah, they said it was like caves and huts and devastation. Everything's changed.
Unbelievable.
I was talking. Well,
Super highways.
the Americans rebuilt that,
Well,
and the Koreans too.
we loaned them the money, but they're one of the few countries that ever paid us back all the money we loaned.
Oh, really?
One of the few. France owes us money from the First World War. So does England. They never paid it.
Thank you for coming.